Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Redneck Ways. How y'all doing today? I hope everybody's set fine and dandy. Not doing too awful bad here in old Kentucky. It's about 6:30 in the evening, and we're at right at 41 degrees. So I hope everybody is doing well out there in YouTube land. Not doing, like I said, too bad here today. Just a little tired from the work day. So y'all might hear my voice throughout this video. So today, guys, I thought we'd take a look at this Zenith. If you watched my last video, I said I wasn't going to work on this, but I got thinking that it shouldn't be too awful hard to try to hook it up to DC. This is an AC DC. You can do either. Um, so that's what I've done. I've been kind of tinkering on it the last 2 days. Um, so, but I really haven't really got really much further than getting juice to it. We are getting some juice through her, which is good. Now, I do not have the the actual tube um, that it calls for. Um, the 1L6, the converter tube. I do not have that. I substituted it for another tube, which I forget what it was. We'll have to get down there and look. Which Shango, he was working on. I don't think he was working on one of these the other day, but he was working on something, and he said the tube that I substituted for this, that he heard you could substitute it. So that's what the internet said, and he said that it did work in one of his Ocean Atlantics. So this Zenith is a model H500 chassis 5H40, which I cannot find those numbers on this chassis nowhere. Let's see if I can turn it around here. Here's what I looked up. Those numbers right there, the 493980, and I don't know if it was by luck or what. I actually found the schematic. I don't know if that is on here, if the H500 or the chassis number at 5H40 is on this chassis somewhere. I cannot find it, but we are looking at the same radio. Our tubes on this, just all American 5, pretty much all American 5. It has a 1U4 RF. That's for your RF amp. The 1L6 is your converter. The 1U4 is an IF amp. And the 1U5, I'm not sure what that one is. I think it's for the AC and all that. 3-volt 4 power outlet. I'll have to look in the schematic here about that, about our 1U5. I think it's the resurrection tube, so I think it is. But here's where we're at on our power supply. It has 100. You can either run it on 110, 120 volts AC or DC. Now, this is what I don't understand, because not Shango, plus not only Shango said these filaments are super low voltage, but I've heard that a lot of places. But this is saying on the DC, you have 9 volts on your A supply and 90 volts on your B supply. That just seems, I know it's not no 9 volts on those filaments. That's odd. And here, I'll show you where it says that. Right there. Oops, sorry guys. See, it says at 9 volts DC. So I'm taking that as the filaments, and then 90 volts. So I don't understand that. I've only been running 2 volts across them. And that could be where, if it is 9 volts, that could be one of my problems. So, this video is, maybe guys out there has worked on these, because these are very popular radio. And if y'all have any pointers, I sure like to know. I would appreciate it. Jot it down there in the comments. Now I'm gonna I gotta look. We gotta see what tube that was. Because I forget. I substituted. That supposedly works in this. So let's get y'all up on the sky view, and let's look at that tube. Alright guys, now on our what we're using for DC voltage today is a bunch of 9 volts in series. That's the only way. I do have a voltage thing here, a battery eliminator is what it's called, but it only goes 12 volts, so it's kind of pretty much worthless for this situation anyway. But this one good thing about this radio, I found the schematics, and I didn't have to pay for them, and they're very detailed. So if you have one of these 5H40s, it's online. It has everything. It consists of 9 pages. I mean, it tells you wherever everything goes. Then it has one big schematic, which you got to probably kind of tape together, and that's what I'm looking for. You got to kind of put that together, or set your printer to make it do the whole thing. Now, it has all the alignments, where you can set your single generator and all that. I'm really glad I found the schematic for it. Give me a second, guys. I'm looking for this. This is what I'm looking for. All right. Now, the tubes. Because I forget where I put that substitute. I forget where the 1L6 went. I think it was, I substituted the 3V4. I know it has the 2 1U4s here in the front. Got the 1U5 here. I don't know if I substituted the 3V4 for it, which I don't think so. Maybe I substituted the 1R5, not the 1U5, but the 1R5. I think that's what I substituted it for the 1L6. Let me look real quick, guys, the schematic here. Sorry, I'm not super prepared here. Y'all can kind of look here at the schematic with me. I'm looking for the 1L6, so I can. There's the 1L4 here. There's the 3V4, which I have it right here. That's the 1U5. Why do I have that? Okay, yeah, the 3V4. And then there should be, okay, there's the 1L6. So right here's 1L6. Let me pause this for a minute, guys. I forget where the daggone, which one I substituted for. Alright, guys, I'm back. After you look at so many of these radios and you put one up for a while before you get it back out, everything runs together. Okay, the 1L6 is supposed to be right here. It's supposed to be this tube here, and I substitute that for a 1R5. So this right here is a 1R5. So let's test that real quick. Now that's another thing, guys. Like I said about, if y'all don't care, if you know if this little tube won't work in this, let me know there in the comments. So let's test this one and just make sure it's working still, and we're still good. I keep on checking because I've been scared to death I'm going to blow the filaments or something in these, but this tube is still good. I don't know if you can see it there on my little tube checker or not, but it's still good. So what we're going to do, we're going to check the voltages on this, and I'm going to show you guys the voltages, and y'all be kind of like the teacher. If the one that I'm talking to, the ones that know these radios like the back of their hand, y'all just sit back and look at my numbers here, my voltages, and tell me if things are all right, because I'm going to order a 1L6, but I want to make sure that there's nothing critically wrong with this radio, and I'm not for sure. For one thing, it's not oscillating, and I don't know if it's this tube keeping it from oscillating, but I'm not getting any static through the speaker. I can get this tube back in, guys. Oh, it's so aggravating. It's amazing when you pause the video. That thing, I paused the video, it went right in. That's just the way it is. But what I was saying, guys, y'all just, for the fellers out there and the missuses and the ladies and the gentlemen that know what you're talking about and may have worked on one of these, especially this chassis, let me know about these voltages. Now we're probably going to have to divide these boats that I'm getting ready to show, because where I have been working on this for the last couple of days, my batteries are a little weak. So let's go ahead, and I left my multimeter on last night, so it's probably about dead. That's just great. Let's get this flipped over. So far, we have a 1R5 in place of a 1L6. So that's the beginning of pretty much, if I was starting the video over and I wanted to show you all something, that's where we're starting. I substituted the 1L6 with the 1R5. Now, like Shango and a couple other people I've watched online have said, and the internet said, that you can substitute that tube for a 1L6. I don't know. I've never been down this road. I just know that the 1L6, I don't know if the Ocean Atlantic Zenith was the only one that had this tube, or I don't know what makes it so special. But when you go online, when you the tubes on there, they all say made just for the Ocean Atlantic or transatlantic. I always say it wrong. So I don't know, but I did find one reasonably priced. It's still going, after shipping and everything's gonna be $50. But the way I look at it, if I get it and this radio don't work, and if I be very careful and not blow the filament or anything, I may be able to resell it. I don't know. So let's flip this over. Oh, I can show you that here in a second. We gotta get this thing over here. I don't know. Did I have it backwards? Yeah, I've got it backwards from where I had it. Alright. Now you guys look at the bottom. Now, no capacitors have been changed. This radio is fresh. It has not been, it's just like it came off the line. There's nothing been done to it other than I took this cap off and I tested it, and it was fine, and it wasn't leaky, and it wasn't shorted, and I just put it right back in the circuit, and I put a new cord on it. Other than that, everything is just the way it came back in 42. So now, guys, what we need to do, we need to check and see how many voltages my batteries still have. And then we'll have to do a little math. That way when we check through here, we'll just, subtract whatever's short here. And I lost my multimeter. Oh, there it is. Alright, that's... here first. Okay, we're at 78 volts. So we're a little short. So I need to write that down so I don't forget. And then we'll, like I said, we'll subtract if we have to. So we're at 78 volts. And then let's check our filaments on these 2D batteries. I think I should still have about 2 volts on those. There's the negative. And 2.6 on our filament voltage. 2.6. Now, I still question that 9 volts that we was talking about, because that I have never heard. I heard these was super low voltage on filaments. That 9 volt really just making my head explode, because I can't figure that out. Why would they say that in these instructions for this schematic? So we're going to start right here, guys. As soon as I find that 1L6 again. Alright, guys. Now looking at the schematic here, it should have 90 volts on the main grid, and then on pin 5 it should have 42 volts, and then pin 3 it should have 65 volts. So what I say we had the voltage, so we have 78 volts of battery, so those should show up. We shouldn't have to worry. The 90 volts on the grid, it'll be low, but we should be able to check our 42 volt and our 65 volt. Now, I was checking on the filaments and how to check that on the 1L6. On pin 3 is 1L6 was 14 ohms, 14,000 ohms. Well, 14K, so yeah, 14,000. And then pin 4 is 18,000 ohms. Pin 2 should be 1,690 ohms. But it says do not use ohm meter to measure resistance. So I'm lost there. So we'll go ahead and we'll check these voltages right here on the what I say it was, the 135. So yeah, we substituted on the 1R5. So let's see if these voltages are the same. So let's get down here and get everything hooked up. Oh. I just got to remember, take my time, get all this hooked back, because I don't want to put no heavy votes on the filaments. Here's our ground. Here's our ground. Oh. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, I need the ground for the multimeter. Need that there. Okay, we got the multimeter hooked. All right, now that's grounded. All right, here is our filaments, which it goes on the red wire down here on the bottom. There's our filaments. So I want to check that. And the way I've been checking is just going around, and that would have been on pin 3 would be 90 volt. No, pin 3 would be 65 volts. So and it's 2.6. So all right, we got that hooked up right. Check over here, make sure that 2.6. I didn't know. I thought that was odd that the filament, the juice going into the filaments, ran through the whole entire circuit. Cause see over here on the oscillator, we're getting the 2.6. See if you guys can see that volts over here. I thought that would just been wired straight to the filaments. But as you see, it goes to about every pin. So that was the first thing that didn't make sense to me, and it made it kind of hard for me to find the B voltage and the A voltage. But our high voltage goes over here on the blue. That's our high voltage. That'll be where our 78 volts be going through. But yeah, where the 2.6, I thought they would only go to the pin to the filament. But evidently I'm wrong. So now guys, let's hook up the B plus. Actually, it's easier to hook it right here. All right, let's turn the radio on. And see, that's another thing. I got the radio off right now. And I'll show you this, guys, while we do this. I showed you I'm getting the 2 point some volts for the filaments. Now when I turn this on, it goes way down. It just goes to the filament. Where is that filament? Oh, this is the tube that I'm not getting any juice on. That's right. I'm getting very little. Like 4. Like a 4%. We're down to 43 volts on our high. So that went way down. So we're playing 48 volts. So we should be getting on pin 5 on the L1L6 pin 5, we should be getting 42 volts. So pin 5, I think it's right here. No, it's the 2.5. 1.4, right? There's 41. There's 0.4. There's 2 votes. 1.2, 2 votes. But we're supposed to be getting, coming in here, coming in. Oh, we're losing votes is bad. .4. 39. Yeah, I'm just losing voltage bad. I'm under now. It's gonna be hard to read. Daggone it. .42 votes. And I don't know if the other one says 85 or not. No, 65. Supposed to be getting 42 votes on pin 5 and 65 on pin 3. So let's see. Only getting 1.4 votes on pin 3. Yeah, we're only getting 1.4 votes on pin 3, guys. And it's supposed to be 65. So we have 38 votes. That's all the juice we're playing with. So we should have at least that 38 votes on pin 3. And it's only 2.5. Now pin 4 has 38 votes. But pin 3 only has 2.5 votes. And then 1.4 on pin 4, which it don't even tell you what voltage that's supposed to be. Actually, I think you're supposed to have no, I was looking at it wrong. So 42 votes and 65 votes. So something I don't know, guys. That tube just ain't. That I may have the upside down. That may be pin 6 there. I may be looking at my pins wrong. We have full voltage. We got 37 votes, which, like I just said, we don't have our 90 votes right now on our power supply. We have 37 votes. And on what I'm thinking is pin 4 has all 37 votes. Which we need 65 on pin 3 and 42. And I'm not getting we're not getting no higher reading other than on pin 4. So if someone knows if you could possibly use this 1R5 in this, let me know. Now, going over here to the 1U4, which paperwork here. See, V1. second, guys. Sorry about that field. We'll check our field coil too on a speaker. It's supposed to be 3.8 volts. Trying to find what that one tube is right beside it. I think it's the 1U4. I can't find my part list here. B1. B1. Okay, that's our RF amplifier. Okay, this tube here that you're looking at, that's our the 1U4, and that's the RF amplifier, and it is not getting any juice through it. And let's check to see what that's supposed to be getting, because that's what's been making me wonder if that's the problem with it not being able to oscillate. And all these tubes got to work together. If one tube is bad, it's a string set. So if one tube's bad, none of it's going to work. So this 1U4, let's look at yeah, we're supposed to have 90 volts going to, wow. This thing's supposed to have, this tube here, the one in front of the IR5 that I got substituted for the 1L6, this tube's supposed to have 90 volts going to pin 3 and pin 2. And we don't have anything, guys. Nothing there. Let's go to pin 3. Nothing on pin 3. We have a fraction of a volt on pin 2. And it's every once in a while. So yeah, that thing is not, there's no voltage other than that little bit. So maybe this evening I'll pull, there's a resistor here. I'll check that resistor, see if it's good in this one. I know it's not the resistors, and there's nothing else coming into it. So yeah, right here we have good voltages on the IR5 tube. I believe we have our 42 and 65. I'm thinking one of them's a little bit higher though. I think yesterday when I had this at full max at 90 volts, I think I was getting 90 volts through it everywhere. So I've checked the ultraletics in it, and they're good. They're not shorted. I mean, they probably need change, but they're not shorted, and they seem fine. But I'm just wondering if that's my whole problem. Maybe this transatlantic, you can't use a 1R5. That's why I'm coming to you guys. And I'm sure somebody out there has worked on one of these radios. I mean, this thing, I mean, I know it'll work. That's not the problem. But I want to be the one to fix it. Let's go ahead. I'll show you some more voltages, guys. We'll see what we're down to. We are down to still 35 volts. See, we have over here, I think this is the oscillator here. I know this is part of it. We have the full 35 volts coming over to it. right? The full 35 volts, which when I had our block of batteries here at 90 volts, I was getting a full 90 volts through this. Now over here on the oscillator itself, that was a different story. There's not very many volts. I think every once in a while I would get there's a 1.3 volts coming into it. From all the coils over here on the side. But as far as the oscillator, we're not getting anything. So this thing, that's why it's not oscillating. It don't have no juice over here on the oscillator. I know, guys, you're all probably like, man, he's got me going around in circles. So so let me sum it up. I substituted a 1L6 for a 1R5, which is here. The voltages on that tube looks fair. But when we go to the 1U4, we had no voltage. Only on pin 2 or 3, I think it's 3, if I'm looking at it the right way, has a fraction of 1 volt. Or it's not even a volt, it's just a hair, and it's not even there all the time. There it is. Oh, we got 3, 4. That's like a fourth of a volt. Let's see if anything pops up here. If I hold on it for a second. Nope. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. We'll check all the pins. Nothing there. And nothing there. And we're supposed to be getting 90 volts. Yep, 90 volts on that tube. That 1U4. So we're not getting any votes on that. Now coming back to our RF can right here, we have our full votes going into the IF can. But coming out, I would think coming out, it's very low right here. Actually, a fraction of a vote. Just a little bit coming out. So we've got the 90 volts going through, but we only have just a little coming back out. That's what I'm trying to say. So now when I hook the antenna up, we are getting the signal is going through it, and the reason why I can tell is because here, we'll hook it up. Hook our antenna up to it. Alright, then we'll get our single tracer out, which I fixed the other day. This line here that hooks to the tip, that's just like a cable. That's like your house cable for TV or whatever, and I didn't know that. But what had happened to it, I guess where this bends all the time here, it had broke that piece of copper, at the solid piece of copper coming through. So I had to go back in, find the break, and slice it and spice it all in, and then I got it all soldered back, and then I put a heat shrink right there, which turned out really well, I think, and fixed it. And she's like new. Now, usually before I fixed it, I had to ground it, and this has got me a little worried. Now, I hooked everything back the way it was supposed to be, but if I ground this, like this right here, like it's grounded, which it could be just how this radio is, because it's working now. Okay, I was getting ready to say, if I ground it, y'all not going to hear anything. See? But if I unground it, see, you hear the radio. See, if I ground it, you don't. So I don't know what that's all about. It could be just way where the radio is just working, not working right. But here, I'll show you here on the speakers. This is the earphone jack here. I'm not getting anything there. We'll kind of poke around here. I don't know if y'all can hear that. So the antenna, you know, the signal is going through to the oscillator. Now the reason why we're getting that station is super strong. I love crystal sets, and that station just run it because I cannot get anything besides that daggone sports channel. So that's why it's coming through. The oscillator is not oscillating, but where I've got the antenna hooked, it is running through up to the oscillator.
As an analyst, it's hard because the NFL, the likelihood of getting injured is so high, particularly for a quarter.
Then we can go over here where the wires. See, the 1L6, the speakers run off that. That's the last stage, and that pushes the sound into the speakers. So that's why I don't think that would have anything to do with that 1U4, because the 1U4 comes before. See what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's a string set, and they've all got to be working together. So can you see where I'm confused? The confusion's coming in. But right here is the speakers. Sometimes it'll play, or that signal come in. I don't think it's going to now. It's coming in on the earphone jack.
A 2020 thing, the voice would be incredibly loud. They'll still be somewhat loud if the Ravens come out.
And sometimes when I tune the radio, you can see the tuning capacitor has a little, you know, it does a little stuff with it, but it never changes channel because the oscillator is not oscillating.
Then that's the one thing you can't risk. It does.
But I can touch this anywhere on the radio and we'll pick a signal up. Well, now it's going to make me a liar. And I did shock myself with this. I was messing around. DC, just because you got DC, it's still as dangerous, guys, if you don't know, as AC. When you got these in a big brick like this, especially when this is not all charged up, that's 90 volts. And when it goes through here, somehow it circulates and it boosts. It gets a lot more juice inside here. So be very careful if you're going to attempt to do what I'm doing. But y'all see what I'm talking about. The signal is coming through the antenna. So there's no breaks there. But we are not oscillating. So that's what I was trying to explain there. So if any of you guys can figure out what I'm talking about and can let me know if that IR5 is going to work in the place of this the L1L6. That's the biggie. That's the big question I want to know in this video, guys. I mean, there's the internet saying it can be switched. Shango says it can be switched. So I don't know. And I really like to get to this. Is one of my favorite radios in my collection, and I really love to see her playing. I really would. I really, really, really would. So Alright guys, I think that'll about do it for this. This is our first video, I think, of the new year. So I hope everybody's still having a good first of the year. New Year's 2024. And hope everybody's well. I just heard on the scanner, sad story. I probably shouldn't tell, but came across, there was a woman in a hotel. Her daughter, 4-year-old daughter, called the ambulance 911 and said that her mom was on the floor passed out, foaming at the mouth. So we don't know her, but guys, so put a little prayer up for that little girl and her mom. I mean, no little kid needs to find her. I pretty much figure it's probably drug related, because it was a shady motel where the call came from. Alrighty guys, until next time, I'll see you right here at Redneck Ways. I think I went through everything I wanted to show you and ask you all. I'm sure when I stop the video, I'll find something else. But if I do, I'll also make another video. I need to get down to the Dollar Tree and get some new batteries. But I really do need to know, guys, what your opinion is on that one R5. And what your opinion is on me not having any voltage at all on that 1U4. Which that 1U4, that's the IF amp. And that's a very important, well, it's all important. So, that's definitely a big problem right there in that amp. Not getting any voltage. So, before I get off here, I'll explain to you. There's nothing here. There's let me see. There is one cap here. There is one Black Beauty cap going to that. But it looks more like it's a ground than anything, because it's coming over here grounded to this cap, which is grounded to the chassis. So it probably ain't the problem. And then the other cap that goes to this side is a disc. They usually don't go bad. And the other, it's got 2 resistors, but I'm sure they're fine. Which I am going to check those off camera. Oh, and I was going to check my VTV meter real quick. I know it ain't going to work, but we're going to check it just in case, because I hooked it up. If I can find the daggone ground. Here. Oh gosh, get over here. So there we go. There's the ground to it. Put it up on DC. And it's already acting funky. Yep. Just like I thought. Let's see. Let me turn it down here. Oh, there we go. There we go. She's working on DC again. It works on DC, the VTV meter that we worked on the other day, but it will not work on AC. But it works really good on DC. Oh. That just me accidentally hit the speaker, guys. It wasn't the radio when I tried to play. If you touch that wire over to the other one, it makes static in the speaker. It's right on it too, 25 volts. Let me check with this one over here. Let me see. Did we go down that much? No, it's saying 33 on this multimeter. Let's try it one more time. DC. It's saying 27 on the VT meter. I don't know which one's right. Probably the Walmart one. It's like 26, 27 votes on the VTV. Okay, guys, I'm boring y'all down. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Guys, until next time, I'll see you right here at Redneck Ways. Thanks to all my subscribers, guys. I appreciate you all. And thanks to all my viewers, guys. You're all awesome. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great day. Bye, guys.